I'm a founder member of the Bristol Suburban Railway, which in 1974 was formed by 6 of us who went over to Kilmerston Colliery, right, over the Easter period, right, and picked up the rail which was leading from the level crossing down to the incline.
Yeah.
The incline, yeah. The sleepers was too rotten, right? So we had the rail, got a lorry in there, flat top, and that was the first bit of rail we had, was leading from the shed out the Avon Valley as it is now, right to the stop blocks, just 100 yards.
Wow. And when was that? What year?
It was 1975 when we first ran the Avonside locomotive, the 060 industrial engine, right? And we ran over those 100 yards, right, with a brake van, charging 1 shilling a time. Yeah, and that's how we made our bit of money for us to buy some more rail.
Right.
Which come down into the shed. Which obviously we needed the shed to be operational to house the Avonside, being as we got it in the steam, and then it progressed from there. Then all of a sudden the bit of rail went in between the 2 platforms. But what we first done was headed up towards Mangersfield. We laid the track up towards Mangersfield, up to Old Common.
What was the length of that?
That was a mile.
Right.
And then after I'd left, they laid it down from Bitton down towards the river, which is half a mile.
Yeah.
And I wasn't there at the time when he'd done it.
Right.
Well, I was, but only a few hundred yards of track.
Yeah.
Norton? I joined Norton. There was 2 of us here in 1997. Just the 2 of us.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then also...
Who's the other one?
Howell or something like that, some name like that. Anyhow, yeah, he lived in Bath anyhow, and he ran a news agent shop in Moreland Road, and I just happened to walk in there one day, right, and he said to me, "It's nice to see you." He said, "I'm out with Midsummer Orange. You know that?" I said, "No." He said, "I'm out there on my own." He said, "Would you like to come out and join me?" I said, "Well, yeah, my railway, my beloved railway." And so we come out, and that's how we started. And with a stroke of luck, but not to them, but to us, the track gang down Radstock, right, had to clear out because they wanted the surveyors and what have you wanted the ground, so they had to go out. So Trevor and Phil Jones and the track gang approached us up here and asked us whether they could join, and that was the year 2000.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, and this is how we come by our track gang now, because they come up and ask us if they could join us.
Really, basically, founder members as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing. So, how many years then have you been associated with Midsummer Norton?
Since 1997.
Gosh. So you've seen quite a few changes over those years.
Oh yeah. I've seen them come and go. On both railways, I've seen heartbreak, I've seen tears, I've seen happiness, I've seen marriage breakups, divorces. I've seen it all. 54 years of preserved railway, and I've seen it all. One little story what you asked me about, you know all about this. Well, we used to stop a freight train between Midford and Wellow on the long straight. Guard come up. "What's up, Drive?" "Thought we heard a strange noise from the engine, so we stopped to investigate." "Right," he said, "I got to write that down in my book." He said, "Well, depending on what it is. We're not going to break down, I don't think. We can sort that out. We got a few spanners if need be, or we got an hammer what we can bang it on. It'll work. If a wheel drops off, we'll be all right." "Oh," he said, "that's all right. Then I'll go back and wait in the guard's van then and wait for you to whistle up." I said, yeah, that's all right. And you do that." So 30 wagons back down there, he lumbles that down there, and my mate said, "Can you see him?" I said, "No, he's disappeared. I think he's up in the guard's van now." "Right," he said, get your bag out, off we go, over the fields, mushrooming." I'm telling you, there's another story about that driver what we had with the shotgun. I used to wait at Midford. There was a big bank there, see, and into the wood. You want to clamber up this bank, about 50 foot bloody tall, this bank. Oh, he's only young and then, and the driver was sort of in his 40s or 50s. He could get on it. And it's a single barrel shotgun. Yeah, he said, I'm up there after me dinner. What about you? I said, well, if there's any bluebells up there, I said, I can pick some for me mother. Yeah, yeah. Hang on, he said. Hang on. Can you hear that? Can you hear that whistle? Sounds like a whistle, doesn't it? Hang on. Wait a minute, mate. I'll run down there. And there's a guard down there, shaking his hands, looking up, saying, "It's gone, it's gone, it's gone. Signal's off 10 minutes ago." Eh? You should have been out the tunnel running down from Midford, running down from Moorfields. So there's the second one, shaking his fist at us. Oh, Percy Savage. Yeah. Taking his fist at us. Look, we should have. By the time he was running down through Moorfields, we should have unhooked the freight engine down at Midland Yard and been across the main line onto the turntable.
Wow.
But there again, he goes dinner with him. Look in the back. And another instance in the dark. Now this was good in the dark. We used to stop at Moorwood Crossing, which was the stone quarry up the other side of Vinegar before you go over the top. Right? On our way to Bath. 7 class freight train. Right? Moorwood Crossing had an incline, right, of impossible for a steam engine to get up. So you didn't go into the quarry. There's a board up there because it was on a great big curve. Right? And what they did is they fly shunted the stone wagons down on the handbrake of the wagons. You see?
That was a bit
right, until they nearly reached the main line, until they reached this sign, you see. Well, we uncoupled the train on the main line, ran down light engine, clear other points, right? Then backed up the train onto the stone wagons, then took the stone wagons back down on the main line, shunted them back upon our train, hooked up right away. Now this was a good part. Right? Off we went. 20 miles an hour, finished. You had it. Right? Brake on, back them off, full application, sit back, roll a fag, out of control. You got pushed. You got pushed down through Vinegar, you got pushed down through Chilcompton, and down through Milton and Orton, and just down around the corner was a distance signal, you see, which controlled the level crossing, the road at Radstock, right?
That's that one that's just down there.
No, that's the starter. What's up now? This is the one further on down, right? Just around the corner by 5 arches.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
This distance signal was, yeah. He was on one morning. Signalman was asleep, wasn't he? Gates was open to the traffic. What could we do? Just sat there and waited, right? On the whistle. We've seen those gates open in front of us. Those gates have opened in front of us so we could go through. That brake had been on that engine right the way through Radstock, up around the corner, levelled out, and 1.5 miles further on by Riverdington Colliery, the engine started to butt like this. And the driver said, "Oh well, I gotta get off my backside now and take the brake off." And that was it, took the brake off, yeah. Because we sort of had the wagons. On the way down through the bank here, right, the mild steel brake blocks on the tender used to melt.
Whoa.
Right? And globs of white hot metal used to fall from the brake block onto the end of the sleepers and burst into little volcanoes because it hit the woodwork. And you could see the trail of all the little flames and all the blue smoke coming off the sleepers where all this metal had melted. They had to change the blocks at Bath for us to go back to Recruit Junction because they weren't in there. It all melted.